Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 18th of August, and we can see where fear gripped the markets dramatically. They're starting to get some rumors swirling. And generally, I think there was just a whole lot of softness that took place after the whole Charlotte's rally, and then we ended up with the terrorist attack that took place in Barcelona, and we quickly were already starting to move back up here with the orange. It was in a decent position once it got outside the cyan and green, but we also had seen the split of the cyan moving back down, and the green, which is midterm buyers. We had the steel short-term buyers cross below. So it started off, and that's where we were, looking at the ABMs, and then as soon as it broke the green, then it was just like, okay, cascade time, and sure enough, we took out the previous dip there. Bars down to a whole new level all the way down here. I mean, we'd already filled the positive extreme, so that really wasn't necessary for that. But it just there just were no buyers at all. And it just kept cascading. We'll show it on the 5K in a minute. NQ, a little bit better off, didn't quite suffer as bad, but again, fairly clean with the ABM lines to pick any which one of them to be out of, and then even move to the short side with it as it really escalated. The euro held up throughout it, which was very interesting, even within the little short configuration that it's developed here recently. Still performing rather decent. That's obviously an indication that central governments like it where it is. Huge flight to quality there with the TLT rising. Oil, it was pretty much beaten up for the most part, but it's held on here rather decent within the positive extremes going right back to here. We've just eclipsed those, so those no longer need to be filled. We do have the dip below the red line, which took place right about here at the 935. That's probably going to get the next target, but we are seeing that it's getting fairly oversold. And of course, safety gold, the gold we expected to move anyway. It would have been in a little bit of a deep move here, but then you ended up with a nice pivot of short-term buyers. But the fact that it's remained with the cyan under red even throughout that little drop low that took place when we had the increase here with the potential for shorts still wasn't enough to drive away new buyers, and so it was a good opportunity to add in at that dip place right there. Now, this is what the 5K looked for. It was decent volume. I mean, from the other day we had over here, we hit the peaks right up there. Oh geez, let's see what the number was for that last, oops, one too many clicks. So we got up there right around 74, and it had posed some resistance to it, and then we cascaded. We get right to the 50%, rejected it, and then that was the last time we got to 50%. You could follow that green line going all the way across here, and we're just now getting to a point where we're having some resurgence right to that 50%. And so this is like the first retest that didn't happen at all during the previous day there. We just kept cascading, and every time there was an attempt above that negative 13.5 line, it's right there, it just kept getting rejected. We never even came close to zero. This is the closest we've been to 0 point, other than just the brief moment to open the market. So let's expand this now because it's hard to see any detail when we have it that wide, but that just shows the amount of volume that was taking place. And so every time we had a little teeny reset in here, they tended to be right with the steel near that 13.5, and none of them above the long short algo, which was an indication that they were just having trouble finding buyers that would elevate price. And this particular point, we're seeing a similar kind of situation here. We finally have cyan moving to a point where it could roll under, and if we get above that 50% level, which is right now at about the 34-ish range, right in there, 34.50, well, 34.75. Then we might see a little bit more carry through with it, though we can already see it's overbought within this tiny little move. So not expecting a whole lot. It's going to have to work its way back, and I think the market's just going to be looking for stability. I think what they're seeing is the undermining of potentially Trump's position with Congress and those kinds of things is going to make it nearly impossible for anything to happen on the legislative agenda. And then you have debt ceiling and some of these other things that are going to create even more tension. So it's a summer of discontent. Is the easiest way to describe it at this particular point. So we'll have to watch how it plays out, but this was definitely a concern for the markets, and not really that dramatic when you think about it from a point standpoint. But overall, the weak readings continued. We had the best opportunity when we came down through here. The problem was we never got that reset of the orange. In fact, then it went straight to a short signal. Likewise here, every time we get the tiniest little reset, hitting a little bit of a snag on there. So, as always though, look for me on the Skype chat. I'll keep posting these as warranted. Trade well.